Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal to take the vote of confidence from Parliament on 12th of July, next Friday. Parliament Secretariat corresponded for the same. Government's budget for the next fiscal year unanimously approved by the Upper House. Finance Minister Pun says the budget is proportionate and productive. Rishi Sunak resigns as Conservative Party leader after a catastrophic night for his party. Keir Starmer becomes the new Prime Minister after meeting the King. And it's Euro Cup host Germany versus Spain in a huge quarter-final match at the Arena Stuttgart tonight. The match to kick off at 9:45 p.m. Nepal time. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal is to seek the vote of confidence from the House of Representatives on 12th of July, at a time when voices are being raised for the Prime Minister to facilitate the formation of the new government by furnishing his resignation following agreement between two largest party of the Parliament, Nepali Congress and CPN-UML. Premier Dahal has made preparations to seek the trust vote as provisioned by the Constitution of the country. According to Prime Minister Dahal's press advisor Govinda Acharya, the Premier has made preparations for the floor test on 12th of July. Acharya has said that the Prime Minister has already corresponded with the Parliament Secretariat for the same. UML had withdrawn its support to the government on Wednesday, after which 8 ministers from the UML had furnished their resignation to the Prime Minister. Prior to this, Nepali Congress and CPN-UML had reached an agreement on 1st of July to form a new alliance for formation of the government and amendment of the Constitution, among other issues. Based on the current political equation, a total of 138 votes is required to generate majority at the 275 seat of House of Representatives. Based on the current political equation, Premier Dahal has the votes of just around 79 parliamentarians, including 32 of CPN Maoist Centre, 21 of Rashtriya Swatantra Party, 10 of CPN Unified Socialist and 7 from Ashok Rai-led Janata Samajwadi Party. Against him, Nepali Congress with 88 and CPN-UML with 79 have a total of 167 votes at the lower house. CPN Unified Socialist Chair Madhav Kumar Nepal has said that the incumbent government should dare to face the Parliament. Speaking with the media at the party's general convention underway in the capital, Nepal said his party had maintained the support lent to the government.
हामी अहिलेको यो सरकारमा कायम रहेका छौं यो सरकारले संसदको सामना गर्ने आँट राख्नुपर्छ.
Nepal also opined and extensive consultations should be carried out to address national issues. The appropriation bill for the upcoming fiscal year has been unanimously endorsed by today's meeting of the National Assembly. Minister for Finance Barsha Manpun has said that the budget would revive the economy while boosting the morale of the private sector. Responding to questions raised on the budget, Minister Pun said that the budget was not distributive in nature but focused on manufacturing. He also said that the objectives of the included modernizing agriculture by announcing the decade for investment in the sector, increasing production through commercialization and modernization of agriculture, and phase-wise improvement in production, storage, processing and distribution to increase productivity. Saying the agriculture sector was prioritized in the budget, Minister Pun also shared the commitment of proportionate and balanced development of all geographic areas and communities. Following the responses of the Finance Minister, the National Assembly unanimously endorsed the budget. The government had introduced the budget of 1,860,300,000,000 rupees at the joint meeting of the Federal Parliament on 28th of May. At least 85 people have died because of floods, landslides, lightning and other monsoon-induced disasters so far this year. Responding to questions raised on the appropriation bill by the members of the National Assembly, on behalf of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Home Affairs Ravi Lamichhane, Minister for Labour Dol Prasad Aryal presented the data on the damages caused by disasters so far this year. He said 55 incidents of floods had killed 4 and injured 1, with 2 missing, while 24 were killed in landslides and 1 injured. Minister Aryal said that heavy rainfall had killed 28 people and injured 4, while lightning incidents had taken the lives of 19. He went on to add that preventive measures for disaster management had been implemented, while regional and departmental responsibilities had been assigned for protection of high-risk zones. Responding to questions raised on the Ministry of Labour, Minister Aryal said that the study was in progress with the objective of erasing cases of fraud faced by workers and legitimate operation of human resource companies, and that a working procedure would soon be introduced in this regard. Minister for Education Sumana Shrestha said that the teacher transfer working procedure had been developed for enhancing academic performance of schools, and the school transformation program had been operated. She went on to add that 1,000 students were being trained and were about to be deployed to address the problem of lack of specialized teachers for particular subjects. Minister for Finance Barsha Manpun also furnished answers to the questions related to Ministry of Finance, Industry, Commerce and Supplies, Agriculture and Livestock Development, Physical Infrastructures and Transport and Drinking Water. At a time when new developments are being witnessed in geopolitics, national security and international affairs, Nepal's diplomacy should have been strong. However, the positions of Nepali ambassadors are vacant at countries where continuous diplomatic talks should have been taking place. The government recalled the ambassadors from 11 countries, including India and the US, with the unexpected change in the national political equation before new appointments of the ambassadors. These positions are likely to remain vacant for a longer period. Nepal's image in the international community has taken a downfall because of the trend of recalling ambassadors immediately after change in political equation and making appointments on the basis of political share. In addition to that, the position of ambassadors to important nations remaining vacant for a long period of time is an evidence of immature diplomacy of the country. The government recalled ambassadors from 11 countries on 9th of June last month and then recommended ambassadors for 8 countries. However, before the appointments were made, the national political atmosphere changed overnight. Recommendations made by the CPN-UML, CPN-Maoist Centre Alliance are not likely to be implemented by the new coalition of CPN-UML and Nepali Congress. The vacancy of ambassadors to countries considered diplomatically important, including India and the US, is certain to last for a bit longer. Diplomatic experts are of the opinion that if this situation persists, Nepal is likely to be cornered in the international community. Considered strong in terms of economy, world politics and diplomacy, Nepal's both neighbors, India and China, are in intense geopolitical competition. Hence, it is a massive challenge for Nepal to maintain a balanced diplomatic relationship with both countries. In addition to that, powerful countries like the US and the United Kingdom also have their interests in Nepal. However, ambassadors assigned to these countries are recalled immediately after changes in government, which denies them the opportunity to serve national interests. Such a trend also shows Nepal's lack of maturity in terms of diplomacy. In addition to strengthening the ties of the countries and facilitating the Nepali nationals based in foreign countries, ambassadors also need to invite investment, support in trade and serve issues of national interest. However, these ambassadors are issued return tickets way before they get familiar to the conditions of the nation that they are deployed to. Analysts are of the opinion that the neighboring countries could themselves grow active to face security threats because of poor diplomacy from Nepal. Recalling ambassadors in groups sends a message of lack of stability of policies to the international community. It also creates an environment where the foreign nations will no longer believe in Nepal. Furthermore, the morale of ambassadors is certain to take a hit because of the trend of recalling ambassadors in a short period of time. It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, why do you think ministers from Rashtra Swatantra Party who were about to resign did not after visiting the Prime Minister? Your options are A, weak decision-making, B, hopes for the incumbent government, and C, an attempt to ploy. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Paddy plantation in Dolaka has reached just around 43% as opposed to the normal 80% by this time. The delay, farmers say, is because of the lack of timely rainfall. Last year, farmers in Dolakha had completed 80% plantation by this time. The Agriculture Knowledge Center has said the lack of timely rainfall has also pushed the plantation of millet. Farmers in Dolakha are compelled to rely on rainwater and the lack of irrigation facilities. They also say corn plantation has been delayed this year as last year's harvest was below par. Around 3,175 hectares of land in Dolakha are arable, which has been producing 6,425 tons of paddy on average each year. The construction works of Jhapa's Birtamot-Bhadrapur road section that is expected to connect a dozen of the 15 local levels to the headquarters has yet to reach 50% despite 2 deadline extensions. Students among the general public travelling through the Chandragadi Leknath Junction in the Birtamot-Bhadrapur road section have been struggling in their daily movements due to the sorry state of the road. They have demanded the road be constructed at the earliest.
गाडीहरु आउँछ अनि यो पानीहरु लाग्छ ड्रेसहरुमा अनि यो बाटो भएन बाटो सबै खराब छ अनि हाम्रो लागि अब यो बाटोहरु बनाइदिनु पर्यो.
The 12-kilometer long 4-lane road project was contracted some 4 years ago for a cost of 580 million rupees. It was supposed to complete construction last year. The deadline has been extended on 2 occasions, with the achievement still standing at less than 50%. Construction in the section along the Birtamod municipality has meanwhile gained momentum. 4-kilometer length in the section has been blacktopped, while the construction of another 5 kilometers is underway. Meanwhile, the progress between Deonia River and Chandragadi has been next to nil.
बर्खामा पानीको यस्तो मुहान नै छ धुलो उडेर त्यस्तै हुन्छ निर्माण कार्य केही सुरु गरिएकै छैन.
यो बिछ्याको पनि धेरै वर्ष भयो अनि यसो टालटुल गर्छन् अनि चाहिँ फेरि बिग्रि जान्छ टालटुल मात्रै गर्छन् अब थाहै हुने गरी चाहिँ बनाउँदैनन्.
Locals and business persons expressed grievances of dust and mud that they have to deal with every day. The project has been assigned to Contact Private Limited, Kathmandu, that says 45% of physical works and 35% financial works have been attained and claims the remaining works will be done within the next 6 months. Now, women of the Majhi community who were previously engaged in their farms, filtering sand at the riverbanks and limited to household works are now being linked to revenue generation. These women from the marginalized Majhi community of rural areas have now been making money by weaving carpets at their homes. Women of Chautara, Sanga Chowk Gadi, Municipality Ward Number 11, Bhimtar of Sindhupalchuk, who were previously engaged in filtering sand during winter or were limited to farms and household works, are now busy weaving carpets. Filtering sand all day long barely helped them make ends meet. However, after beginning to weave carpets 3 years ago, they have now breathed some respite and found making ends meet easier. Some women who have been weaving carpets in the morning and in the evening have been generating around 10,000 rupees in revenue each month. These women no longer need to look for loans to minor expenses. Most women of the Majhi community of Bhimtar who are illiterate are now busy weaving carpets. However, the skill of weaving carpets has come as a relief in their daily lives. It is time now for the international update. Labour Party has won the UK general election in a landslide, which results from almost all the parliamentary seats declared. Keir Starmer has become the new Prime Minister after meeting the King and will address the UK shortly. Also, King Charles formally invited Starmer to form a government. The Conservative Party lost more than 250 seats, its worst ever defeat, and now faces life in opposition. The outgoing Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, also pledged to resign as party leader. The Labour Party has won 412 seats in the 650 member of Parliament, while the ruling Conservative Party has won only 121 seats. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has accepted the defeat of his Conservative Party. Taking responsibility for the defeat in the election, he apologized to the party members for the poor performance. Although Sunak himself has been re-elected as an MP. Along with this, the rule of the Conservative Party-led government for the past 14 years has come to an end. The Conservative Party, which won 346 seats in the previous parliamentary elections, has suffered the worst defeat in history in this election. It has been analysed that the Conservative Party has lost the trust of the people due to rising costs, inter-party conflict and political instability. Due to internal conflicts, the Conservative Party changed 5 prime ministers during the administration of power since 2016. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.